like the people. I call it people.
Oh,
like the people.
you're using it as a verb.
Yes.
Do I like to people?
Yes.
I do. I feel comfortable peopling. I think it's my Midwest nice that makes me like jump into spaces, try to find commonality. I've met a lot of people though. I definitely have. I have a love-hate relationship with people as a general idea. I've seen they're good. I've seen they're bad. There's a lot of them live somewhere in the middle, but I like getting to know them a little bit. I'll tell you, people off camera are so interesting to me, and those are the people that I like the most. You know, I go into these Mogul worlds, I go into these strange spaces, and the camera shifts the way in which everybody talks about stuff, makes them more certain, makes them more argumentative, makes them versions of themselves that they see online, and then that camera goes off, and they got music interests, they got wines they got issues with, they have food interests, they have peccadillos that you just sort of gravitate toward. So people without a camera on their face.
When you walk in a room,
Okay.
camera's not on, and somebody says,
Let's get going.
Yes, well that, you know what, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you want to come on a Breakfast Club, you want to have a nice conversation, and then you walk into a room.
And I say, make me laugh.
The bar is set. Yeah, you get nervous.
But I said it because he said, do I look good? And I was like, you look great. Just make us laugh. Because I thought, as a comedian, when you're making people laugh, it makes you feel good. And I wanted you to feel comfortable and welcome.
Sexiest androids in
Well,
town.
here's the problem. As a comedian, you come.
I don't know why you insisted on coming here.
Because my expectation is I look strange. I have ill-fitting clothes. I think that's how I see myself. So you set me off my game by making me feel good about myself.
Most comedians themselves.
That's on you.
I'm so sorry. If you want me to, I could.
What's wrong? Talk about the fit. Where did I go wrong?
Go. Really? You want me to do that? No, I don't.
You don't have to. No, it's a new jacket. Is it okay?
I like the jacket. I just wouldn't have put it with that shirt.
There it is. You're right.
She's wearing a full leather onesie, and you're gonna
It's
take
not a
it
onesie. It's actually pants and a shirt.
I just don't
But I
know what
love
to.
the jacket though, and I thought the hair was a good compliment to the jacket. But if you want me to talk bad,
Yeah.
I felt you could have went with a lighter shirt.
Lighter shirt.
Yeah, thermal.
By the way,
It is a thermal.
because it's cold.
It is cold, but
It's texture. There's texture on texture. You don't like that?
Just what I needed.
the texture is just very
so you
different.
wouldn't wear a white t-shirt.
I mean, do you do Uniqlo?
I do. I
It's
do.
really great. See, I know your
Uniqlo is
brand.
white.
Yeah, they have really great T-shirts that you could have put the thermal under with the white T-shirt, and then with the sneakers. I looked at your shoes and you talked about your feet, and I just thought,
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, why? What's wrong with
he
you?
told me to do it.
I respect it. I respect it. I need it.
Is this the part of people that you like or
He
don't like?
said
I'm right on the line right now. I gotta tell you. But you know, I do specials. I do specials because I get health insurance. I do publicity, so I get fashion tips. I can't pay for a publicist. You're helping me
I
here
was
right
just trying to
now.
help you feel
There's some
comfortable. You told me to do
You
it.
know, I like it. I respect it.
action
Now,
we
you
can
don't want a
handle.
graphic tee. You're saying a plain tee is the way to go with something like
We'll
this.
have a look
You
anyway.
would have been
You
real
don't.
chill, like you seem like effortless.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, that's what you're getting out of this?
That's a good thing.
No, I'll
Starting to
take
stick
effortless.
boozy.
You said you seem effortless, but you actually tried this morning.
I'm trying. There was so much effort put into this moment here. You can see it. It's bled into the
You did
interview.
it last night. I can tell you did it last night. I was
Oh,
like, kill with this, like first day of school.
Do you know I ironed this corduroy jacket?
Damn.
I don't even know if you're supposed to iron a
You don't
corduroy
have a
jacket.
steamer?
Jesus
It's
Christ.
at the office. It's
You're
at the
so
Daily Show.
judgy.
You know what's so interesting
You
though?
mess up the
See,
jacket.
this is good. This is good intel. I didn't know you. Yeah, you steam corduroy instead of ironing corduroy.
Oh my god.
No, this is helpful.
Put a towel over it and steam it through the towel. You do that too.
Did you put the towel?
I did not put the towel down.
But you know, Jordan's a real comedian because as soon as Lauren said, make me laugh, Jordan was like, I got a tight five.
I got it. What do you need? You like airline food? I got thoughts on that. Let's go.
The new special, Jordan Klepper fingers the post, give the man a prize. Fingers the post sounds crazy, but let's talk
Is
about
that
the
his
special.
name?
Have you met Fingers the Poles? That guy. Oh boy. Yeah, he's a bit handsy. Okay, stay away. All right. He's got a rap sheet. Don't look into him. Don't Google the guy.
But you mess with MAGA people again, man. What's wrong with you? You just like
You know what? I like getting out there. I like getting out there. This one was wild because we're trying to figure out what to do a special on, and two things were happening simultaneously. Like Trump was sending troops into cities because he said it was World War II in Portland and Chicago, and at the same time he wanted the Nobel Peace Prize because he said he was the most peaceful guy on the planet.
Crazy.
So we're like, all right, that's a hypocrisy that makes for comedy and a special. So it's like, let's go after this Nobel Peace Prize desire, and let's talk to people about like what's actually happening in these cities, which is chaotic.
It's interesting too because the special blend stand.
He didn't die of a heart attack.
In the field,
He was
what
strangled.
you want audiences to understand about
I saw the
America
bruising
that you
on the
couldn't
neck.
capture just through.
Doesn't prove anything, though.
though.
Well, I
Could've
mean, I
been a
think
rough flight.
when you look at something like this, what peace
We're
looks
missing
like
something
in
here.
America, what it feels like, what
You can read the
what is so nice.
android's
We went
memory.
to Portland, which was supposedly
can
World
see
War
what
II.
happened.
And if you're watching Fox News, if you're watching the right-wing
try.
political sphere, all you're seeing
Driver's
is this is a
license
war zone, this
says
is chaos you never want to visit.
Michael Graham.
We went there on the naked bike ride,
Credit card,
which was
cash in the
a
wallet.
comical experience full of people
Oh,
dressed
hey!
as...
Oh, Connor,
some people
you're
who were
so
naked, some people who
disgusting.
were dressed as cartoon
I'm gonna
characters,
puke again.
all of them going outside an ICE facility to protest what they saw as inhumane treatment. It was comical, it was absurd, and then we saw ICE agents shoot pepper balls at these people dressed as cartoon characters. And for me, like, that's what America feels like right now. It's this absurdity, it's this violence, it's two different worlds clashing into one another. And so that's why we go out and do these field pieces. That's why we go out and do these specials. Is
The
it's
only
one
way
thing to
to
sit behind a
access its
desk and
memory
talk
is
about what
to
you see
reactivate.
on camera. It's another thing to
You
get
can
out
do it.
there and see it up
Badly
close.
damaged.
How do you measure the success?
If I can,
of
it'll only be
these
for a
that
minute,
you do?
maybe
It's
less.
comedy, but there's also like a deeper
Just hope it's long
conversation
enough
that
to
you want to
learn
start. Like I know you want to Emmy for your last one. So is the okay? I got congratulations.
Thank
on
you,
that.
thank
Yeah.
you.
How many shows you got now?
Emmy-wise, I had a couple at home. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice, yeah. And it's, even with all that, I'm still so nervous about what I wear. You know?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
You can't get it.
You got Emmys.
I mean, you think so, but you still care. I measure success with clicks. That's all that matters. Just clicks. Who is watching? How
All we
many
want is
clicks?
to know what happened.
Oh, not really.
Snort.
Is he?
Yeah.
That was a supportive snort. I'll take it.
That's an honest answer.
Tell
I
me what
wish I
happened.
didn't look at it,
He
and I
started-
can't
Oh,
say
you're being
that.
serious.
What?
Hitting me.
You know what? There's truth in that comedy.
Again.
Okay.
I like no.
And again.
What I tried. Our intention in this is to find.
I begged him to stop,
we're
but he wouldn't.
comedians in this crazy, strange world. I
was
came
like-
up an
kill him.
improv comedy
No.
guy, a comedy
No,
dude,
it wasn't
something
me.
thrust on the Daily Show, and I love it.
Were you
And then
alone in the room?
world sort of
Was there anyone
explodes,
else with
and our
you?
job is to find
wanted to play with
comedy
two girls.
in these chaotic times.
That's
and
why
I
he
think
said there was two
using
of us.
comedy as a way to add context to
What
a moment.
model was the other
For
android?
people who aren't
Did it look
necessarily
like you?
paying attention and watching Comedy Central at 11 o'clock, who might not be interested in politics, suddenly to be paying attention to the Nobel Peace Prize race and what's happening in Portland. Like that's our intention, is to like engage
There
in
was
that
another
conversation.
android.
And then late at night,
This happened over
when I
an
feel
hour ago.
good
It's probably long
about
gone.
my intentions and what I've done,
No.
I go on YouTube,
couldn't go
and I see how many
outside
people have
dressed like
watched it,
that
and
unnoticed.
if it's not enough, and I compare it to
Might
what else
still
is out
be
there,
here.
then I feel bad about myself, and then I talk
If
to
you
my
could
agent,
find
and they're
a
like, well, your
deviant among
contract's
all the other
independent on how
androids in this
successful the show is, and then you watch CNN, and it talks about what's
Deviants
happening in the
aren't
late night
easily
sphere, and then
detected.
you worry about eyeballs and the attention economy, and suddenly you have a breakdown when you come on a show like this, and you're wearing something that's not exactly, I
Maybe
can't
an
get out of it,
eyewitness.
you know, I
Somebody
can't get my
who
head
saw
outside
it
of it.
leaving the
I'm
room.
so sorry.
We're gonna go ask the manager a few questions about what he saw. You let me
Is
know
this
if
the
you
only
think
way to make
anything.
special specials?
How you do it?
For me, yes. There's something improvisational about it.
Did you know the victim?
We knew we were going to do a special 3 months ago, and the stuff that we do is current. You know, we were editing up until yesterday. We were filming up until like a week ago. And
Ever had any trouble with
for
androids?
me, I've done specials that take a year. I've worked in the stand-up world, and you craft something over the course of years to put that special out.
Excuse me,
For the
Lieutenant.
Daily Show, for Fingers the Pulse, what we
Can you
do
come here
is
a
like,
second?
what's the conversation
something?
right now? How do we
Maybe.
make a larger argument about that conversation? And how do we keep it evolving up until the moment it goes out? So for me, that retains the improv spirit of keeping it in the moment.
Can you rent this, Tracy?
When you go out,
For fuck's sake, Connor, we got better things to do.
how is your wife?
Please, Lieutenant.
I know it's a lot
Gotta
of
be nervous, right?
But yeah, but how is it on her?
She gets a little stressed when we go into some hairy situations. Like, you know, she knows me. Trust me, when I bring that argumentative stance back home, she is not as excited. Like, it's one thing to see the guy who goes out there and argues about politics on the road,
It's
trying
not
to
gonna
find
look good on my
democracy.
expense
But to bring
account.
that guy home and in the house is a tough thing for a wife and a loved one. So I feel for her in that position. As of the last few years, though, she is
Delighted
earnestly
to meet
worried
you.
about what happens out there.
Follow
you know,
me.
it's
People are crazy.
I'll
people are
take you
crazy.
to your room.
And I
Okay, now
started going
what?
out there with no security, and now I go out there with 4 security guards. And there are threats that take place on the show, on the family, and again, when the camera's off, when you're talking to people face to face,
shit.
people are lovely. People are not as bold
The hell are
and
you doing?
emboldened as they are online. But when you step back from that, there's hate, there's anger out there, and And she fears for that. You know, we think about that. And I think this last 6 months with some of the violent activities that we've all seen, like late night shows, people who are public forward facing have to sort of reevaluate what that looks like. And it's real and it's scary, and you try not to think too much about it.
What was the incident that made you get 4 security guards? Because you just don't go from having nobody to all of a sudden 4. Something had to happen. I think the big moment for us was right before when Trump lost his re-election campaign in 2020, and the Stop the Steal campaign. He had a giant event
policy is to wipe the android's memory every 2 hours.
And
we only have a few minutes if we want to find another witness.
And I was interacting with people, and the Trump crew had gone from being in power and successful to having lost an election, something they couldn't accept at the time. And so they were angry. And I think there was a shift from like, oh, this is playful. We don't like the media, but we will be playful with them. Suddenly, I was pushing somebody in an interview, and it was getting a little bit contentious. And the people around it who had nothing to do eyed on that, started to create 2 to 3 to 10 to 15 to 30 people, and it became a mob of angry people. And security had to extricate me from the situation and run out, throw me in a van, kind of a situation. And so they chased me. They chased me. And it's that mob mentality that you saw a month and a half later at January 6th, where it is a bunch of people with nothing to do, emboldened by a president who told them that you're a patriot and that the media is the enemy of all people, and they see that. Literally, I don't think a lot of the people who chased me had that intention, but a minute and a half earlier, bored people walking around emboldened by a president see something that they can do, and their brain turns off, and they just chase. And so when we encountered with that, I was like, all right, we have to be prepared for this. And quite frankly, when we go to rallies and events now, we have to be tactical about where we are, because we're in a space where we can't get out of, and that mob.
I know which way it went.
Close to the car now.
Now I do close to the car. We're always close to the car. And you know what? I'm going to amend my comment about people. I think person is easy, people is tough. And that was the case on the road. I can talk one-on-one to that person. When they become people, they start to lose accountability, and that's what you can't rationalize with.
Become like groupthink.
Like just groupthink all the way.
You ever think about keeping like a MAGA hat in your back pocket just throw it on, blend in? You know what I mean?
Disguise.
Yes, I will say our producers have specific colored hats and apparel to wear so that we blend in.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
So like red hat, they may not say MAGA on it, but just red hat.
Our producer Ian Berger wears a red hockey hat from some minor league hockey team in Canada. It's a red hat with like a Mustang on it that looks like it's part of the team. Because that's what it's tribalism out there, right?
Yeah.
You walk out there, and if you're wearing the red, you're wearing that, you're on the team, and people are open.
No black people.
There are no black people out there. There are not.
Do you feel like it's worth it? Like what you do and putting yourself kind of like in the mix of these people who could have that mentality and having to beef up security? And
I do. I love engaging with people, and I do. For me, what is most effective or interesting about what I do is when, like, I feel like I'm stress testing propaganda, the stuff that you hear being fed to people on all these news shows. Like, where does it actually land with the American public? And if I can go out there and I can find that hypocrisy,
I lost its track
if I
again.
can like,
Spent all this money
and it's most revealing moments. I'm having a conversation with somebody on the road who has not had a conversation and thought through their point of view until this very moment. Like, we all just accept these points of view, these opinions, these certainties that are fed us without, like, friends and cohorts push you on it. Like, we're in these bubbles. A lot of the people I talk to are in media bubbles, they're in friend bubbles, they're in Facebook bubbles, and when I come out here and I ask you, why do you think that thing, they haven't thought through it. And in that moment, they have to articulate that. My job is to find comedy in it, some context in it, but hopefully there's a little moment of revelation where you see that person be that person again, and you see the BS. And so, yeah, for me, with that and a little bit of health insurance, it feels like it's worth it.
So for you, at what point does comedy start becoming like a public service?
Start being a public service? That's a great question. I mean, you know, with The Daily Show, like John always talks, we are a comedy show. That is our bias. And I think that's what is compelling about people when they watch a show like that. They know
are biased. All these shows have bias. The Daily Show has a bias towards comedy, calling out the BS where they see it. So we're always approaching it.
I lost its track again.
And also, I am not a journalist. I rely on the work of good journalists to tell these stories, to get good information. That we want to keep that clear, and I don't want to get over my skis in doing that. And in some of these situations, comedy has very little space to be, and maybe shouldn't be there. So for us, again, with this special, we wanted to go to Portland. We wanted to go to Chicago because we've seen images of what's happening with ICE raids, and they're heartbreaking and they're terrifying. And when you have a microphone and a camera, you're like, how do I point it at these things that I think are really important to talk about? But also, me going in there making jokes, when is that helping a situation? When is that becoming more activist and more comedian? And how do I take what I want to say, but still add the thing that I can do, which is comedy? And quite literally for this special, there was a naked bike ride. And so for us, we're like, all right, here's a comedic take on what is happening in this chaotic space. So let's use that so we can tell a story. Because at that point, if I'm just getting out there and just becoming an activist on television, trying to tell you what I think, I don't serve a purpose. I'm not speaking a language that I'm most fluent in, and I'm not being effective to an audience base who understands I'm going after comedy and BS. So I try to keep that as my North Star.
Too late.
The naked bike ride was naked.
The android's
naked,
memory
naked,
had reset.
TD and Dick swing.
They were all there. My friend, they were all there. We thought nobody would show up. 10 minutes beforehand, there's one or two naked dudes there, all out. By the end, there were hundreds getting on bikes,